Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 2v2 on Duel between the Carbon team in the upper left, mrbrush in the Beta Striker, and NBSLAYER, NoobSlayer in the Classic Striker. And their opponents, the red team in the bottom right, BioGenisis and Pax Helix, and RedDog. I mean, that's got to be how you say it, right? RedDog in the Alpha Striker. Oh, he is an Alpha Striker. And, yeah, okay, Lexi, Mako. So, NoobSlayer, the only player in non-Lexi, but we have a Lexi Striker versus a Lexi Striker, and then a Mako Striker versus a Lexi Helix. So meta. Both players, or both teams, choosing to go straight for mid with a very standard approach from the top / bottom, basically the open lane here and there. NoobSlayer trying to do a little bit of early harass, not going to be able to get any kill on any mech. I mean, with two strikers and one of them being Lexi Striker, I would, think that one of the natural, inclinations for that type of harass is both players go together. But a very aggressive play by both teams, very quick leapfrogging up. The red team a little bit further up on the right side, but it does look like the and BioGenisis getting killed by Heavy Flacker. Where was that? I didn't even see where that happened, but there's a Heavy Flacker here and a couple patrolling over here. Patrolling Flackers, OP, man. I love doing that. Patrolling Flackers is pretty awesome. I wish they moved a little bit faster for that purpose, but whatever. It still works pretty well. RedDog, getting focus fired by those two strikers, and now BioGenisis is all alone. But right now, 28-32. It's a pretty even fight. Artillery, I mean, pretty standard approach. Artillery up, tanks up, healing units up. Actually, no artillery out for the Carbon team yet, I think. Yeah, the NoobSlayer does have Arties. I was going to say Archies, but Arties in his loadout. So, mrbrush really low on health. Oh, will he be able to get away? Yeah, nice little, weird flight path there, preventing the red team from getting that finish. I think for the most part, that was the cause. Oh man, the goalie. Oh no, it's not actually in range. Oh, barely out of range, I guess. Oh, but the 2-minute mark is almost here actually, and the box is about to pop up. So yeah, that was a recent change. Less, lower credit value for the boxes and more frequent spawns, so they are less important overall. Just in terms of that, so 5 seconds away from that spawn, and it's a pretty even fight at this point. Yeah, and okay, there you go, the box does spawn, and at 4 minutes, these other doors spawn 2 Seekers and a Longhorn. Either that or 2 Longhorns and a Seeker. I don't know if that was fixed quite yet, but yeah, pretty normal game, pretty standard. RedDog moving out, and no one really making any decisive moves quite yet. No hidden, light unit pushes on the side or anything like that, but I think the Carbon team got both of those boxes, and yeah, the red team is pretty significantly behind just because of that. But in terms of upkeep, it's very even, 43-44, and the unit spread is pretty even. The Carbon team is sort of pulling back. I'm not really. Oh, here we go. Here is the sort of secret. Oh, and BioGenisis saying go in all chat. Oh man, gotta love seeing that. It's pretty hilarious sometimes, but and actually followed by 3, all 3, or not, is there more than 3? Either way, 3 different colored Flappy Birds. Sonya does go down, and the Carbon team's actually pulling way back. mrbrush with a lot of Gemini. Oh, actually, sorry, not Gemini, Jackals, and that is actually NoobSlayer with a jammer. So the red team hasn't really scouted this, so they can do a side push for the most part. Preferably for them before the 4-minute mark, so they don't, have to deal with the extra stuff that spawns over here. However, the red team now just moving up, and yeah, I mean, the Carbon team pulling back just gave that red team the window to not to pull up, but to move up. And actually, this did get set on T. Are they going to set? Oh, and they just did a double prong push, half Jackals and half other, the rest of their units too. So there's just mayhem and chaos right now here at the mid fight. I'll pull back just a little bit, and the Carbon team's actually coming out on top. I think 45-53. The Carbon team is actually behind in terms of unit count. Oh no, now it has evened out. The Carbon team just overflowing the middle outpost with quite a lot of units. mrbrush actually really needs to get out of there before he gets finished off, but BioGenisis is the one that actually gets killed first, and mrbrush is actually safe. Wow, lots of units over here by the Carbon team. That was an interesting pullback and, double prong push. I really haven't seen that specifically before, I think. Although I personally actually tried something like that in 1v1. not very successfully. This was much more successful than my go at it, but NBSLAYER does grab that box. Is the other box there? Yes, with the, it lets, the verdict is 2 Secrets and a Longhorn, so that it did get fixed. That was the council decision, but now, you know, the Carbon team is way ahead. They can actually just keep pushing, I would say. They have a massive unit advantage. If they just scouted that red forward, I think they might choose to push, although, you know, defender's advantage, AirMech, whoever pushes first loses. Still pretty true. I mean, it's mostly maps, I would say, at this point. It's maps and a little bit of formations and the lack of being able to V-path with formation at the same time. Like, formations don't really hold very well to V-path. You know, if we could V-path and the formations held strongly, you would probably see a lot more pushing. However, the Carbon team actually doing that pushing right now, gonna easily overrun the red units over here. 51 to 32. Lots of death, lots of explosions, and yeah, the red team gonna be forced to pull back one more time. The Berth is actually firing from this side. mrbrush getting BioGenisis killed right there and getting back to the middle outpost before RedDog's actually able to get that finish. And RedDog actually pretty much in danger right now, getting hit by some striker missiles himself. And forced to pull out that shield, will be able to weave out, but mrbrush now going to be able to freely kill a couple of Berthas over here. I'm not really sure why he didn't continue that. That Gemini was panning away at that Bertha on the right side, but now the red team just forced to pull back even more. And speaking of pull back, I'll try to do that with the camera right now. A couple of tanks. Oh, whoa, the sound effect just completely disappeared there. But yeah, the red team 48 to 24 with a 2-to-1 unit upkeep advantage. And it does look like they will be able to just continue going. I'm not really sure why they just haven't continued the pressure. There are like no tanks over here for the Carbon team. It's just Berthas. And Berthas, well, suffice to say, pretty much suck at mass tank pushes. And RedDog able to finish off one of the Carbon team's Berthas. I mean, Bertha versus Bertha right now, it's not even, there's really no point at this juncture. Like, the Carbon team is just so far ahead, or at least was, before the red team started to make kind of a comeback. Now it's 32 to 30. However, the red team, I mean, the Carbon team has such map control that, you know, the income advantage. Oh, but BioGenisis is able to grab the left side box. Will he actually go for the right side? The right side, and no one's touched the spawned neutrals right now, and I doubt BioGenisis is going to go for that. It's probably a safe assumption at this point that the Carbon team has got it, or, you know, it's probably not worth trying to traverse it and trying to get all the way back to your outpost with a box in tow. And right now, yeah, okay, RedDog just dropping a couple preemptive Gemini here at that bottom right corner. And it does look like the Carbon team, okay, the Carbon team is just choosing to do a leapfrog up. And a little bit dangerous with all these Berthas. No jamming unit over here is just the healing unit. So, yeah, kind of an out-of-order leapfrog, just considering the units out on the field. Really needs to drop a Sonya or a jammer of some kind, but nothing of that nature is getting dropped. I don't think so. I don't see anything. And I guess they're not aware that there's 2 Berthas pounding away at their units sitting over. Okay, finally, one Sonya gets dropped by the Carbon team, and just more leapfrog. Honestly, I would like to just see either a death push or a push of some kind, not necessarily because they can win it, but because they can reinforce so much easier and so much more efficiently than the Carbon team, or sorry, than the red team, just because they have that huge credit income advantage. And BioGenisis, oh no, okay, that is actually RedDog. Not, oh, okay, I guess the Carbon team did grab that box. Didn't really notice. Either way, the Carbon team just making their way up. Actually, upkeep is pretty even, 61 to 64. However, the red team is at their upkeep cap, and the Carbon team can just continue to pump out more units. And like I said a million times already, they have a lot. They have the income to do it. So they will be able to just eventually edge out this win. Well, edge out is probably not the right way to put it. Just probably stomp out the win once they have enough units to actually do a stomp. Lots of, you know, normal unit composition down here and here. You know, healing units, tanks for defense, for push defense, and all that stuff. 1 or 2 pieces of artillery because hey, that's enough nowadays. And right now the Carbon team is going to, oh man, they're having a hard time keeping up with these 2 Berthas firing in, but NBSLAYER getting that finish on BioGenisis. I once again would like to just see a lot of, you know, a big tank push by that Carbon team, and they could probably, at the very least, even out this battle. Even, I mean, they're kind of losing right now. The red team's, you know, Berthas firing in have not been that yeah, have been very successful at pushing the Carbon team back. And where's the mass Jackals again? I'd like to see that. That would be pretty cool. But a couple of rollers being put down in the front for the Carbon team just to soak up the damage coming up from the Berthas. But now 3 are out. And let's see, Red Dog trying to scout whatever he can do. You know, random jammer here and there, and might be able to snipe some units, but does decide to just pull away. Let's see what the abilities look like. Everyone has level 1 missiles, including the Helix, because the Helix has missiles, like two different types of missiles, missile burst and their normal Helix missile ability, air to ground, or sorry, air to mech and ground to ground. But now the Carbon team is pushing out. They really probably need to just start microing these rollers so they can actually, you know, survive this push in, whereas right now their tanks are getting kind of slaughtered on the way in. There you go, the roller does go down finally, but it's a little bit too late, honestly. Oh man, these Gemini push, I did not even see this. Geminis and Mortys have been able to neutralize and will be able to take this right outpost, this forward, away from the Carbon team. And the Red team is kind of right back in it right now. Okay, the Carbon team needs to focus on neutralize here, probably. BioGenisis still has, you know, a lifeline there. Okay, the outpost does get neutralized, but the Carbon team, oh man, the Gemini push is not stopping. I don't know if that was intentional or if that was AI. I would assume that was just because AI just keeps pushing. However, Red Dog is here. He might have been the one doing the pushing. However, the Carbon team getting the finish on Red Dog, no mech support in the area, and Strikers slashing away like crazy. This is probably going to be the end of the game pretty soon. The Carbon team taking this close outpost once again, and the Red team forced to pull out, but BioGenisis getting focus fired by that Carbon team. NBSLAYER gonna drop and finish off that one Gemini, and that is probably going to be game. The Carbon team now has almost complete map control except for this bottom right corner. BioGenisis already calling out the GG, and the Carbon team just needs to send a death push at this point, and that's pretty much what they are doing. Lots of tanks being sent from all the different points of control that the Carbon team has on the map, and again, a couple of Gemini dropped over here. But that's probably going to be it. Only 4 defensive Gemini, and BioGenisis dealing with a random roller and 1 random Gemini. But the focus really needs to be here on the fort defense if they actually want to attempt to survive this, which they probably couldn't anyway, just looking at the numbers of units down on the field. Red Dog trying to slash away whatever he can, but there's so much AA over here, he won't be able to survive very long, and that's probably going to be it anytime now. I think these Gemini, these Gemini are actually set, or this one is set on C, and yeah, the couple of defensive Gemini down here. Okay, mrbrush reallocating to C so we can actually take care of the defensive units, which is probably the right decision at this point, and lots of Gemini on the corner actually, and in a matter of moments, this will be Carbon team's game. Actually, okay, moments. Lots of moments, long moments. How about that? But NBSLAYER getting that finish on Red Dog, and there you go. Finally, the Carbon team taking this win over the Red team. mrbrush and NBSLAYER taking this ranked 2v2 on Duel over BioGenisis and Red Dog. So that was a very interesting mid-fight. The Carbon team, I think they intentionally pulled out. Not because they thought they were going to lose, but I think they were sort of planning on doing what they did. They wanted the Red team to sort of get us around so the Jackals could move in, so the Red team, I don't know, maybe they were thinking maybe they can get the Red team to feel comfortable. I think that's probably a stretch just because that's super dangerous. But yeah, I'm not sure if they intentionally waited for the Red team to move into the mid, but they did definitely pull back intentionally before they really needed to. I think the Jackals, that simultaneous, that double prong push on Duel, awesome. I've never seen it done exactly like that before, with the Jackals on one side and the the tanks and pretty much the full force on the other side, and overrunning mid, then just continuing to the forward, not continuing further, which I was a little bit disappointed to see, because I thought, just looking at the unit allocation on the field, they would have been able to just keep steamrolling through and get a quick finish. But either way, that was the Red team almost made a comeback, pretty close. Those Berthas just were a little bit too much for the Carbon team to handle, but eventually the Carbon team was able to make it happen. Push in, did finally decide to push. The roller micro was a little bit late, but it did happen eventually, and was able to secure that win for the Carbon team. So once again, great job, mrbrush and NBSLAYER, but also great game by the Red team as well. So guys, spectate, play, be aggressive, be aggressive. You guys know the chant, I think. It's probably popular all over the world, known. Either way, blah, blah, blah. All right, guys, send in your games, keep playing, and yeah, AirMech. There's REY in that game. See you next time.